On today's show,
we look at their potential.
It's the ITM-NSR Model Look North America Glamour Finale Show. Vancouver band Brasstronaut's latest listen.
And I learned how to be more sustainable.
The Richmond Earth Day Youth Summit.
We don't sell any foods with byproducts.
And later, health food advice for man's best friend. See that and more local expression.
Welcome to The Express, only on Shot TV. I'm Johanna Ward at the River Rock. Today, it's the 8th annual ITM Model Look North America 2012 event. A select group of models have been training for the last 6 weeks, taking part in photo shoots and interviews and all kinds of creative stuff to get ready for tonight's main event.
Lights, camera, fashion. This is the Glamour Finale Show for ITM-NSR Model Look North America. But these models aren't your usual runway walkers.
Well, it's simple. If you are at the age between the age of 15 and 26 and Canadian, you are qualified. For most of them, they are not experienced models. They are all green ones. Most of them do not have modern experience. So we don't really look at the way how they walk. We look at their potential.
Teresa Watt chairs the ITM judging panel.
What sets them apart is because they really bring out themselves to us. They're unique of their own.
She's been a judge in the competition since it started 8 years ago and says the quality of contestants this year is exceptionally high.
When I did the semi-final judging, we really have difficulty finding, narrow down them to 16 female contestants and 8 male contestants because all of them are really good.
The stakes, well, they're higher than the stilettos on stage.
That winner must be confident of himself and herself, and he must be able to walk, and he must be able to interpret the fashion he or she wears.
But most importantly,
the girl and the boy has to be able to represent Canada in China. That's very important.
The grand prize is an all-expense-paid trip to China to compete in China's largest and most prestigious model search, the New Silk Road Model Look Contest. That's not the only big dollar prize. The BC Cancer Foundation is ITM's charitable partner in this event, an altruistic component intended to help make this a well-rounded experience for the aspiring models.
We see their potential there, and then we train them during the past few months. We want to bring out the best in them.
The website is itmmodel.com to get more information. Over $10,000 worth of prizes to be had in both the male and female categories, including that all-expense-paid trip to China. Now, our next story on The Express also features some talent on the move. Local band Brasstronaut is getting ready for their cross-Canada tour.
Vancouver's Brasstronaut received critical acclaim, like an Echo Songwriting Prize, for their debut album, and is now touring with their new record, Mean Sun.
It's just maybe representative of the kind of way in which our band is developing, playing a lot of shows live and touring a lot in Germany and other places in Europe last year. You have a better sense of what works and what doesn't. In the beginning, it was kind of more about like soloing over kind of chordal progressions. Now it's like, how can we create one unified sound with like the trumpet, clarinet, iwi, slide guitar, like all of these things we use, but just make it sound really, really solid.
June will be a whirlwind Canadian tour going from Vancouver Island to Montreal. But Brasstronaut are no strangers to life on the road after extensive European touring.
I like short drives in Eastern Europe and playing, places on the Adriatic Sea in Croatia and small towns in Switzerland. It's kind of amazing to see how people react differently, and I feel pretty fortunate to be able to go to these places and present my art to these people.
Their live show has evolved to include projected film and images to create a special ambience matching the music.
It was a lot of work to get this album finished, and then another push to figure out how to play these songs live. because we did a lot of the arranging and finishing in the studio. So, but at the end of it, it's just kind of our core instrumentation, and I think we've discovered we can do a lot more with it now.
And this summer will lead into a late 2012 push for the new album internationally.
We have maybe a couple videos on the way, and we're touring again in Europe all fall. I mean, it's kind of going to be non-stop, I think, after the summer's over. And then, yeah, just like trying to spend time with our friends in Vancouver, because I really, like coming back here. It's a nice home base.
You can pick up Mean Sun and their other records at Brasstronaut.com. I'm Paul McLellan in Vancouver for The Express.
By the end of their tour, Brasstronaut will have played 22 shows in less than a month, all the way from Victoria to Montreal. You can hear more from their new album online at Brasstronaut.com. You're watching The Express, and we've got more models from the ITM Model Search Runway coming up, and these stories. Stay with us.
We put a lot of energy into planning this week event.
Big ideas on a better future at the Richmond Earth Day Youth Summit.
I feed my dog as carefully as I feed my kids.
Is this for the hippies or the hipsters? You decide. We've got health food advice for your pets. The Express, only on Shaw TV.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by...
The Express is brought to you in part by Plum, fashion supplier to host Johanna Ward.